Welcome. From me is an Apple iPhone SE from 2020, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a brief overview of the device itself. So this is the box that it comes in, a typical standard box. So nothing really special here. Let's pop it open. You get the brochure here with some stickers, obviously, as you kind of came to expect. This kind of product, red, it's basically their like color scheme, and just all that trash that no one really cares about. So let's just drop that onto the side. Then we get the phone itself. I'm gonna put it onto the side for now. Inside we get the charging brick. Drop it. Yep, there we go. No, this is nothing really special. It's just a typical, what is it, like 5-watt charger. It's a fairly disappointing charge, honestly, for 2020. Then you got the headphones. Now they are, I think there's still a headphone jack. Oh, nope, there isn't. So let's see if they have any kind of, trying to see what the plug is. Don't really see it. Then we get the charging cable. I don't really feel like pulling it out, and that's about it. Nothing else in there. So let's drop the headphones. Well, by the way, the headphones are just kind of like the typical normal headphones that we're used to with old Apple devices. Nothing really mind-blowing here. They're not AirPods or anything. They're on a cable. This is the disappointing charger. Then the phone itself. There you go. Now it's already set up, so it's not necessarily the most accurate unboxing ever. But as you can see, that is basically how it will look. Now, when it comes down to the phone specifications, it's a 4.7-inch display with a 750 pixels by 1334 pixels. So again, it's nothing mind-blowing there. It's basically like a 720p, a little bit more than 720p resolution, which for the, what is it, like $500? This is just, no, $400. This is just, in my opinion, unacceptable. Like, the screen might be small, but 720p, come on. Then the screen to body ratio is also massively disappointing. As you can see, this is the look of this is still based on like an iPhone, what was it, 6? So that is like a 4 or 5 generation back. So about 5 years back. It doesn't look anything like current devices or even devices from like 2 years ago. So it doesn't hold up on par with that. And the screen to body ratio is 65.4% with the pixels per inch 326. Now, pixels per inch are, I guess, reasonable. So I'm okay with this, honestly. Then when it comes down to it, the cameras, let me flip it back. You have a single camera, as you can see right here, and it's a 12 megapixel camera that can shoot at 4K, just 30 frames. So again, I wouldn't expect anything surprising out of this camera. It won't be blowing any, I would say, devices probably from like even a year ago. Probably my personal phone would do better than this. This is just a 12 megapixel sensor, so don't expect some super high quality photos out of this. And the device itself has 3 gigs of RAM. There is no different options, it's just 3 gigs and that's it. And it comes with the A13 Bionic chip, so that is a good chip. So the device won't be actually slow. And honestly, when it comes down to RAM, on the iPhones it doesn't really matter. It might have a low RAM, but their operating system is fairly well optimized for the components that they add in there. And then you have the 1821 milliamps battery. So again, a little bit small in my opinion, could have been better, but you do have a really trash display here. So you don't actually need to push that much display. So maybe the battery won't actually suffer because of it so much. And then when it comes to storages, the device right here is a 64 gig storage, but you actually have a choice between also 128 and 256. Like I said, all with the 3 GB RAM version, and all of that storage is NVMe, so it will be a blazing fast storage. And also no expandable SD slot. Probably already knew that. That's Apple. You just buy bigger capacity device and pay premium because you don't get any additional storage than from what you buy. So you buy 64, that's it. And then, like I said, the 12 megapixel camera. It's a wide sensor with a PDAF and OIS focusing, and like I also said, it shoots at 4K, and actually it does shoot at 60 frames, so not surprising. And it does have a 1080p at 120, so that's the slow motion, and also 240 slow motion. Then when it comes down to charging the device, it's a 18 watt fast charging. I believe it's 18 watts capable of charging. I don't think the brick itself provides 18 watts. If I could actually see it, that would be nice. Let me quickly check it. Yeah, the charger is 5 watts. So you want to charge it at full capacity, which would put it at 50% in 30 minutes. You got to probably shelf out for a better charger. And also the device has a wireless charging. It looks like it, so you can also slap it on those Qi chargers and not plug it in at all. And the device itself comes with 3 different colors. So you have the typical white, black, and the red that you have right here. And also when you actually look at it in the back, you have this red or Cadillac red marking right here. And it's a really nice, actually, red color. I honestly really enjoy it. Now I'm not necessarily the one for some kind of like eye-catchy colors like this, but this is honestly really nice. Not sure if it's gonna look as cool on camera as it is in person, but hands down, I really enjoyed this one. And apart from that, going back to the display itself, on the front you have right here next to the speaker grill, you have the camera. Now it's barely visible, this little tiny dot right there. So you have a 7 megapixel front camera for face detection, so you can unlock it with your Face ID, awesome. And also it shoots at 1080p at 30 frames and has a gyro electronic image stabilization. And apart from that, you get just a typical iOS experience, nothing really much to say. If you had, for instance, iPhone 6, this is, let's say, almost the same, just faster. Nothing really changed in terms of the design and how the iOS looks. iOS roughly stays the same for the entire time. It has really small changes. So what you were having back then is basically what you will be having right now. The same experience, same security, which Apple is really good with. So all your device should be secure fairly well. In terms of theft, you have the Find My Device along with the really hard to bypass security. So this is a fairly decent device when it comes down to just having a secure device itself. Apart from that, just a typical everything iOS. Now, like I said, the device doesn't really rock amazing specs for the $400 price tag, but in terms of an Apple devices, it is I guess a good entry device. So if you're planning to get into that ecosystem and you really want it, this is I would say a budget version for you to start off and see if you actually want to just sink your budget into it and just get all that additional stuff like Macs and that can cooperate with each other fairly well. Because as you all know, the Apple ecosystem works fairly well in unison with each other. So you have all their devices function and basically work off each other. But apart from that, if you're not a biggest fan of Apple and you're thinking about picking this up for some reason, I would probably say to stay away from it. It's nothing really special here for the price tag, and it would only work good if you're planning to expand on the Apple ecosystem. So yeah, this would basically conclude the overview of the device. Now I'll also go quickly over just how it looks like all around. So just quickly lock it. You have the button right here, as you did on the iPhone 6, and then you have the power key and a SIM tray right here below. Oh, there we go. You can see it right now. Power. At the top you have, well, nothing basically. Then here you have volume rockers, 2 separate buttons for that with a nice tactile click, and a switch for the silent mode and the loud. At the bottom, just a speaker grills along with the charging. Now it's again not a Type-C if you're wondering, it's just a typical Apple charging port, so minus on that. I really think they should finally jump on the Type-C, it's just better. And yeah, then on the back you have the camera, LED, the Apple logo of course, and this product red marking right here, and that's about it. No headphone jack, so you can use the Apple AirPods and stuff like that if you want that. But yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.